Okay? Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let earth receive her King. My throat is a little bit hard. Sorry, that's as far as we're going. Joy to the world. That is the vision and that is the hope for you today. And there, again, as I said, there's so few of us, and that's okay. Intimacy is not bad or wrong. And if you think about the intimacy that was there was Joseph and Mary and Jesus, and maybe a couple other people in this place. And I can't imagine, giving birth to a child in an unsanitary place. And this child coming into the world, in a world that didn't want him, a world that thought they didn't need him. And the world continues today. The world continues today, and yet God continues to proclaim this great gift. This gift that brings joy. This gift that is powerful. How many of you received gifts this year? I hope all of you did. Gifts are wonderful, and they don't necessarily come wrapped up in packages. Gifts can be a smile when we're down, a hug when we're lost, some direction when we think we know the way. A gift is powerful. I was thinking of giving my gift to my son, letting him choose the Christmas tree. He was 3 years old, and we were living in Wordsmith Air Force Base, and we went out into the National Forest, and I said, son, go pick us a Christmas tree. That was awesome. So he ran up and he put his arm around our tree and said, Dad, this is the tree I want. And I said, sweetheart, you can't have that tree. And he started crying. This is the tree I love. This is the tree I want. This is the tree for Christmas. And I said, sweetheart, that's an oak tree. We're looking for a pine tree. And he said, it doesn't matter, in his 3-year-old voice. It doesn't matter. Any tree is a celebration. If you have children, you understand. He would not budge. This is the tree. And I said, sweetheart, it's 60 feet tall, 6 feet wide. We can't get that into our house. Why don't we leave it for another Christmas? And he said, okay. Sometimes the gift of Jesus may seem too big. But mostly for people, it's too small. I want it to be big, but for most people, it's too small. This gift of the Christ child. It's just too small. And we put it with the rest of the gifts under the tree, thinking, and then we don't even consider it as we open the other presents that we have for the year. The gift of Jesus is not just for Christmas. It's not just for our whole year, it's for our whole life. A gift that continues to give us hope when we are hopeless. Vision when people hurt us. Love undiminished of times of great sorrow. Great gifts. I traveled to, when I was a pastor in Aubrey, I traveled to give gifts to people. And in this journey, I was celebrating. I really loved the idea of helping those who have nothing. Really do celebrate that idea. So, loaded up the gifts. Traveled to a place that was, 20 miles away, 30 miles away. And I walked in and there was a woman, probably 75-ish, sitting in a brown recliner. I can see it like it was yesterday. And she was smoking a cigarette. No problems. I don't judge anybody about their cigarettes or where they were sitting. But she was probably 75. And her daughter, probably who was 50, was sitting in a brown recliner right next to her, smoking a cigarette. And her daughter, sitting in a brown recliner, probably 40-ish, 38 maybe, smoking a cigarette. And the next woman sitting in a brown recliner, probably 20, smoking a cigarette. And when I walked in with the gifts, I saw this and I didn't know what to think of it, actually. I tried to figure it. It must be great-great-grandmother, great-grandmother, grandmother, and mother. All in brown recliners, all smoking. And there was 2 little kids there. And when I walked in with the gifts, the oldest of them said, yeah, come on in, just put it with the rest. And I turned to the tree and it was overflowing with gifts. The tree was a third of the size, it was probably this tall. And the packages filled it. And I thought to myself, she took advantage of the system. And I was kind of a Scrooge or a Grinch at that moment, because I was going, darn her, she's just taking advantage. But that's what people do, right? That's what people do. So I left there, and my sons said, well, what's wrong, Dad? I said, nothing's wrong, because they came with me to bring the gifts. And they were, hey, this is wonderful that they have gifts, right? Christmas. I said, yeah, it's fine. And we traveled to the next place, and there was silence mostly. And then we got to a place that was down a dirt road. It was a place I probably could never find again. It was back in, I don't even know how I found it. Didn't have GPS at that time. And if it was, they couldn't have been on the map anyway. It was out in the middle of nowhere. So I walked into this house and I saw a young woman, probably 18. And her child, probably 2, had no clothes. And they were on a dirt floor. And under their tree was nothing. 0. And when I came in, she didn't say, just put it with the rest. She started weeping. Uncontrolled. And she said, thank God for you, because I don't know what I was going to do tomorrow for Christmas. Now, both reactions are the world, brothers and sisters. One is not really better than the other. I would have driven back to the other place, took all the gifts that I gave them, and brought them back to this woman. What I want you to see is sometimes you're going to be that person take advantage. And other times you'll be saying, thank God for this gift. And I don't know what I would have done if you weren't me here. Today, on this Christmas Day, I pray all the people you will encounter, you will say, this gift of Jesus is huge, and it can fill your life. Let it be there for you in times that are great, and in times of sorrow, in times of joy, in times of birth, and in times of death. This is a great gift, Jesus. And may he touch your